we have to find the ways to have these conversations to impassionately fight for our rights and our humanity. We live in this air quotes woke culture apparently, and we're having everybody's freedoms represented, and we're all diversity, we're all inclusive, and it's like, then why are my friends in prison? Why are they still facing prison? Why could you still tackle me for, oh, I can vape in my car, but if I smoke in my car, oh my God. Do you know what? I can buy the weed from the government, but if I grow my own weed, like
Yeah.
it's these systems don't make sense. And until enough of us make enough of a fuss that it becomes profitable for the clickbaity mainstream to go, oh, 1 million cannabis people are going to do XYZ, or this gathering, or this space, or they'll join this movement. I mean, I know we shit on petitions. I still sign some petitions. Like anything we can do in some way that draws blood, shows the fallibility of the system. And I don't mean that analogy in an actual act of violence. I mean, in by whatever way we can penetrate through their protectionist system to force them to have to justify the unjustifiable, we win.
Mhm. Well, I think the best way to get them to have to justify what it is that they're doing will become the next election, especially for yourselves over there, is to make sure that there's candidates there to challenge them on their
Mm.
fucking, some of their bigoted views. Because like as soon as you call them out and like put the argument there out there, it doesn't stand up. It doesn't stand
Mm.
up. Like they can't put back any logical reasoning that they keep prohibition in place. Outside that, drugs are bad, or drug dealers are
Mm.
bad people, or the usual,
Yeah.
they're not really giving you any honest answers. So it was just the misinformation. Like, so I think that'd be the best place to get them is come the next election. So if we can get more people to definitely step up and challenge them at that point, that's where we'll make a difference.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. I mean, I'm gonna get criticism for this as I always do, and there's a lot of apathy, and I think fucking Russell Brand has a lot to like a lot should stop with him in terms of voting apathy of my generation. In terms of his when he was back doing the truths and all of that shit, and on a campaign, speaking with Paxton and others, basically being like why we shouldn't vote. And for all I agree with some of the sentiments and can sympathise with the position,
Wait, that you shouldn't vote.
that we shouldn't vote. Yeah, the in the media promoted him because obviously they wanted to disenfranchise the youth vote, to push David Cameron, which obviously didn't quite go the way they wanted it to because they ended up in a coalition.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the there is a mechanism where people are it's not worth it. They're all the fucking same, and it's this might sound a bit crude to people, but I believe that being governed under British democracy, hugest air quotes of democracy, there is like being sodomized, and I think that voting is choosing the size of the prick. And I think you can choose to reduce the size of it, or you can just deal with whatever size is going to violate you. You are going to be violated. Some of them might be nice and spit on it. I'm gonna make this is gonna be an interesting short, Jesus. Um, some might help. Do you know what I mean? It might be nice about it, like, but it's still not. It's you're still gonna get screwed, yes, because the reason you have that attitude is you're of the wrong class, not because you were born wrong or you are wrong or there is anything fucking wrong with you. It's because of their mentality. They own this shit because they guarantee you won't fucking vote. Oh, 30% turnout, that's good. Yeah, that means 70% of us have gone fuck you and done nothing about it.
Yep.
We could do something about it. I'm not then saying, oh, go vote for the smaller prick. Yeah, you can in some areas. Like, I would still advocate for just destruction of the fucking Tories. I don't quite care what comes next. Ideally, it's a rainbow coalition, so you've got more chance of holding them account. I think in 4 constituencies, if the Greens can get a larger representation, the argument for proportional representation could be made again. And I think that then would actually lead to our votes being in some way meaningful. That means that people really could be in positions of power to affect change. Even if you go to the ballot and you spoil it, that adds to a statistic and a number that helps say something. You go and you vote for an independent, even if you don't quite agree with them, that shows something. Jamie Driscoll came second with 30% of being the Northern mayoral candidate after being deselected by the party. And I voted for him. And I voted for him based on the principle of you guys don't want him. I'm interested in that. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so we should look at shit like that. If there are then people that don't fit into mainstream politics, but like yourself have chosen to go, no, I believe passionately, vehemently, I will defend door to door what I believe in.
Yeah.
That's what politics is supposed to stand for. I don't believe it ever has in this country because of how institutional and how stretching back 1,000 years to the fucking Norman invasion that we've had this semi-feudalistic monarchistic system. But I believe that the youth now that have lived under more once in a lifetime events than any other fucking generation, that they can get out and do something. And I
Yeah.
think we can affect change. Local politics means that, hey, if you can put a Martin in every fucking local councillor room, it's that meme of the three panels and they're in the boardroom and they're asking like a really obvious question and then two people say something stupid and the third guy says something and they kick him out the window. That's what we want. We want those people there. So yeah, they might kick us out the window, but being there means they have to kick us out the window. You get what I'm saying? Anything we can do to force them to expend their energy, to acknowledge us, to deal with us, to humanize us, to see us beyond just potheads, druggies, dropouts, dealers, wrong'uns, criminals, thieves, whatever they decide to, proclaim us to be. We only rise above that if we represent ourselves. And that first and foremost, I think it's somewhere the only way they will ever acknowledge us until we unite in a meaningful mass is that ballad. They lawfully have to look at the thing and someone drew a penis. So they have to look at that. That's law.
Yeah.
Dude, get through the doors. Show that. If we can get voter turnout record numbers, but half of them spoil the ballad, then how can we not talk about proportional representation and getting everybody that you can think of? Your Dave down the road who's like, oh, you know what? You'd be good for politics, man. You'd be good in the council. You care about this spot. Actually having people from places they've grown up in fighting for those people in those places. A novel idea, I know, but it could be done again. We could have individuals that know their region fighting for what is right for their region rather than some prick parachuted in to what? Massage the numbers to artificially create a consensus to manufacture our consent.
Yeah, all we've been getting all along is just party men, really. And I don't mean that in the fun sense. I mean they're literally men for their party, their political party. Um, and unfortunately, that hasn't really resulted in too good of things for the country, really.
Yeah, exactly. It's the whips. And exactly, it's all weird that it's party and whips, and it sounds all extra fun. You're like, no, it's mental. What actually it is? Some do now. I am in charge. I've been told that this is the rule. You all better behave, or else you're fucking out. It's like what? How is this in representative democracy? What are they representing? They were elected to represent the constituents. The constituents, yes, they might be party members and they can vote into that, or at least they could under fucking Corbyn and Labour, and they did it at least for the Tories to elect their leaders, which is how we ended up with 3 car crashes and prime ministers, if not all 5, 6 of them, whatever the hell it's been. Um, yeah, they rigged the system, like I said, because they can, because we don't pay attention to it.
Were you
We're so
watching?
apathetic. We're so detached from it because they created it to be this way.